Hey everyone, and welcome to Quick Review. Today I'm looking at Rise of Industry, another optimization simulation game that has you building factories, gathering your resources, and optimizing trade routes. It's yet another game in the rapidly growing sea of optimization simulation games, which honestly is slowly driving me crazy, but let's review this game first. Rise of Industry pretty much just throws you right in. There's a brief tutorial that explains some of the core concepts of the game, but the tutorial seems to just glance over a lot of key aspects of the game, or how to really optimize and use the features it explains to you. I'm not going to preach optimal strategies, I'm just going to generalize this game based on how I enjoyed playing it. You jump into the game, you pick through a bunch of settings to generate a world. There are some presets based on how experienced you are, so while the game may look incredibly daunting at first, you don't really need to worry about all of the settings unless you want to worry about them. From there, you basically just set yourself down in a SimCity looking world, pick a starting area, and get going. You can build resource gathering buildings, factories, roads, all sorts of things. The general idea being identify what you can harvest and sell, be it to your own town or to other towns. Why? Because this is Rise of Industry. You're trying to build an industrial empire. You'll need to account for upkeep costs on buildings, shipping costs for trucks, pollution damage from running factories, and a host of other things as well. When I first sat down with this game, I was honestly super lost. I had to go back to the tutorial a second time, restart the game 2 or 3 times, and it was actually a little painful. Regardless, once I figured out how the game worked, what I was trying to do, and how to use the expansive set of resources the game puts in front of you, Rise of Industry became incredibly addicting. So I think that's my only real complaint off the bat. While the tutorial did eventually set me in the right direction, it also didn't dive deep enough into how you effectively use the tools you're given. Sure, it explains what some things do, how some things interact, but when you're thrown straight into an open game mode with absolutely no direction, it can be mildly frustrating. This is just the career mode though. You can create your own custom scenarios to run through sandbox mode, and there's also an entire tab dedicated to mods. I intentionally avoided diving into the mods section of this game for this review. I always think it's super cool and awesome when developers open up their games for mods. It often shows a love for the community that they're building. But when I look to review something, I want to look at the base game, and mods are a bonus. Can I really call something a good game if the base game sucks and the only reason it's fun is because of the mods? I don't know. Either ways, it doesn't matter because the base package is solid either ways, and the mods seem like a bonus if you're interested in expanding and testing yourself in Rise of Industry. With that said, Rise of Industry is pretty deep. It's probably one of the most simple, complex games I've ever played. What I've said so far describes the game. There isn't much more to it. You gather resources, run factories, and sell your stuff. That's the game. But there are so many trees of research available, which you have to run through to unlock technology. So many combinations of items, so many things to think about, that while the core concept is relatively simple when you're describing it, actually playing through the game, you realize how complex it is. Because at some point you have to expand as well. Well, nothing really conceptually changes once you've expanded, it's just another little mini-game on top of everything else that's going on. Make enough money fast enough so you can acquire permits to build in other regions before your enemy corporations do. You can also compete with other corporations for city contracts that might allow you to make some more money. As you sell more and more items to cities, you also have a chance to expand those cities and watch their populations boom, while also opening up more mediums through which to sell other items to those towns. Anyways, that's Rise of Industry. I could keep talking about this game, but I honestly think everyone should experience it for themselves. If you're into sim games, this is a deep and complex game that can really eat up hours of your life. Just know, if you're anything like me, the onset may be a little tricky. Keep going though, it gets to be absolutely amazing. And don't forget, this is just in my opinion. If you disagree, feel like I left something out, or just want to suggest something else for me to review, leave a comment. I'd also like to remind everyone that I'm hosting weekly giveaways for games I've reviewed. Whoever wins can pick any game I reviewed that week. So if you want to win a copy of Rise of Industry, check out this video's description, and maybe subscribe to get an idea of what else you could win in the future. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and check back weekly for more reviews and more free games.